Hi there, and welcome to part 4 of Chaos to Calm, or From Chaos to Calm. If you've been following already, then thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And if you're just catching now on either the live or on a replay, hashtag the enriched woman underneath, so I know that you're here. And also just a mini introduction that I'm Alison Stockton. I'm a board certified board certified functional medicine practitioner, and I am an ICF trauma-informed coach and somatic EMDR practitioner, amongst a few other things, such as breathwork coach and so on and so forth. But we need a multi-dimension to work with the multi-dimensions of the uniqueness of the human body. So I'm here today.
By humming or singing.
I'm here today just to share a little bit more about what it is like to go from living in chaos to creating more of a sense of calmness in your body. And I was that person who lived in the chaos, the internal chaos and the external chaos. And for many, many years, I didn't really know or have the tools of how to navigate life without being angry or agitated, or just have these involuntary reactions, which could be anger or expression of voice, which wasn't particularly calming or even inviting for many people. In fact, it was quite possibly repelling because I just didn't have the tools of how to deal with the internal chaos and dialogue that I had in my mind and in my body. And the thing is, when you've experienced trauma, whether it be just one or whether it be multiple, your body actually holds on to that memory as well as your brain. Because over time, your memory, your mind is very clever. It may actually suppress the memories where you can't actually locate them anymore. You can't remember the actual incidents of what happened, but your body remembers. And what happens is something can trigger you. It could be a sound, a smell, a colour, somebody's voice, or just being in a room that looks familiar to a space of where something happened, but you can't quite figure out what it is. But your body will have an awareness that that energy is creating a certain element of dysregulation within you. You will feel it on a somatic level. The body keeps the score. And what happens in that is it's an unknowing response. It's an unknowing response if you can't remember, if it's suppressed, but also it's a response within your body to say something doesn't feel right here. I might not be safe. Even though it's the here and the now, and I am safe enough, something might be triggering in the body that makes you feel that you're not safe. So it's the brain, it's the body, it's the nervous system, and it's the wholeness of you. That if we have a little bit of chaos, how can we create calm? How can we connect the links, the dots, so that we can bring everything together, so we can recognize more to the point of when we're reacting irrationally. It may seem irrational, but it's a body's response to protect you, to be in survival. And then how can we become more aware of becoming aware of how we behave, how we react, and how can we attune that into an embodied sense and state of awareness, so that instead of reacting to certain things, we get to respond. And that could be because you haven't yet been able to metabolize what happened in the past, and it's still there. It's still circulating. It hasn't been fully metabolized and it hasn't been processed. So that's why the somatic EMDR informed practices enables us to really attune with your body. When you're in those situations, or a situation that keeps reoccurring, a behavioral pattern, a relational pattern, an attachment style, what is it that's happening within our body that we're feeling within that? And often we don't know. We don't know. So how can we be aware of the way that we are if we're really not aware of the way that we are or the way that we've become. In cultures such as Asian cultures, indigenous cultures, African cultures, they process, if they're just coming back from anything, a hunt, a war, anything, they would be moving. They would be dancing. They would be chanting. They would be playing the drums. They would be singing. They would be singing to express, not suppress. So the emotions are able to be noticed, to be seen, whether you're crying, laughing. Because you can laugh, it's a nervous system response. If something has happened that might be a little bit triggering or traumatic, you can also cry. And neither is wrong or right. It's just what is, and it's your body's response. But in those cultures, that's what would happen. In shamanic culture, indigenous, African, the dancing, the chanting, the drumming, the sounds, the loudness, that all allows self-expression and movement rather than closing in. But as I've mentioned in the previous part, sometimes we close in, and that's the fawning response, where we go into our dorsal vagal response and we're not able to express. But if we're not able to express, then how can we get rid of it, and are we suppressing it? And the thing with the somatic EMDR practices, which I work with the clients, as well as noticing what's coming up with their body and how their body's stored, whether it's chronic pain or injuries that are occurring for no sense or rhyme or reason, then we need to find a way that we can really work with the body. And that could be something simple as taking that breath, which I've already spoken about, taking a conscious connected breath, hand on the heart, hand on the belly, taking a pause. Noticing what comes up in your body with a memory of something that has activated you or continues to activate you in the now. So the memory of the past, repeating like a revolving door in your mind, coming into the present. Where does that feel in your body? And noticing that and thinking about, what's coming up? I might need to stretch, I might need to yawn, I might need to make a loud sound, whatever is happening with that. This is a way to be able to trauma release, to be able to notice what wasn't able to be said at the time, to know that you're in the safety of the here and the now. The singing of a song might be a song that you find that just allows you to alter your state. And when we can work with that somatic EMDR approach, because the EMDR in somatics is not just the eye movement desensitization and the reprocessing, it is the bilateral. So that could be the yawning, that could be the dancing. I know I'm sitting down right now, but it could be that we're moving and standing. And it doesn't have to be a fast beat. It doesn't have to be something that makes you feel self-conscious. It's something that you feel safety in. Doing it wherever you need to do it. Because I am sure that when you've been in the car or you've heard a tune that comes on, you have danced and it has changed your state. And that's the stimulation part. That's the sound. That's the waves running through you. It's the words. Everything's coming together and makes you just want to move. And it changes your state of being. And that's what the somatic part is. And then we can start to think about, well, okay, what can I do when this memory comes up again? How can I process it in a different way? How can I be aware of those senses, of the sounds, of the smells, of the colors, of the vision? And we can recognize and notice and process and metabolize what was from the past, how it makes you react in the now, and alter that, change so that you feel empowered and embodied in yourself. And that is the beauty of that somatic EMDR informed practice. It doesn't have to be just about the verbalization, the word vomiting of the trauma that's regurgitated and spoken again and again and again, if you can remember it. Sometimes you can't, so there isn't a voice and there isn't an ability to have that vocal prosody. So what can be done instead is we just notice what's coming up and how and when, and how you can process that in a different way, so that rather than suppressing it, we can express it And we can move from the mind, the heart, the gut, the body, the soul, the somatic part of everything. And you get to change the state of being, and you get to alter how you are being. So if you are curious about the Somatic EMDR practice, if you're curious to find out more, then I have an exclusive offer that is just through September, and you can either book in for an introductory session, and if on that session you feel that this is something that is really, really useful for you, really beneficial, because I am open to not everybody working with this, not everybody being able to process it. Some things don't work for others, and that's great because we're unique, and it's about finding what really does work for you. But between 80 and 90% of people who join in for Somatic EMDR sessions really do feel the benefit of it. And that can alter between 3 and 5, and even more so in 10. So the exclusive offer is to jump in on an introductory one-off session. It's going to be 90 minutes. You can book in the link in the bio. It's currently 125. If you jump in and book for 5 sessions, it's 555. And of course, you can jump in advance to 10 sessions if you want to, which is currently 1,100. These are all a special exclusive offer through September. The offer does end on the 18th of September. But if you want to find out more, send me a DM. If you are watching this on the replay, hashtag the enriched woman. You can put in the comments EMDR and I will respond to you, Somatic EMDR. And I will respond to you and send you the details directly if you wish to have them directly. And if you are done for today, then thank you for bearing with me through this time. And I'm hoping that I've got a little bit more power left on the phone before it dies. And I just want to share on closing that you can take a deep breath. Whatever comes up for you tonight, I know that many of you are mums if you're watching this. Many of the kids have gone to school. Many may be agitated and have so much more work to do in this moment. And my invitation for you, and everything is always an invitation, is an invitation to notice, to recognize, and then to process and understand why. Well, how is that chaos that I know is about to happen creating me so much more internal stress? How is that making me feel more agitated? What is it that I need in this moment to calm that nervous system reaction down? My answer would be no, it's not a glass of wine or a bar of chocolate. The answer would be recognizing why, how, and what the situation was that triggered your reaction, so that you can become also, when we reprocess or process the past and the trauma that we've experienced and the chronic stress that we may be living in, when we can process that and work in a different way, then we get to be better people for ourselves, better parents, better partners, better friends, practically better everything, because we have so much more embodied self-awareness. So thank you for joining. I'll see you on part 5. Have a gorgeous evening, and I will see you soon.